Episode 4, we're back. This is the Walk On podcast you're listening to. And right from the jump again, we're going to kick it to our special guest. I'm going to say this is a Vista Del Lago legend. A lot of people know him around the area. One of our closest friends and definitely a KI Hoops fan staple. William Fitzpatrick is with us today, man. Will, what's
Yes,
going on?
sir.
Man, fellas, I'm happy to be here. Super excited to be talking with the three of you, joining the pod. Great things have happened already on this pod. Great things coming. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Definitely, man. And, like I said, he's one of our closest friends. I've known Will since middle school. We've been through a lot. And I know Tommy probably met him around the same time he met me. And then Jared and Will have definitely been through a bunch of different things. And we're going to get into that today. But, off the jump, I think if we could just get a little, rundown of your story, where you started, how you got to where you are now, that would be the best way to start.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, I've had a cool story. Definitely a long story, but a cool story. I'll kind of base it off of you guys' intros you guys did. Started around middle school again. That's when I think Luke and I got close. Middle school. I think early on in middle school, 6th or 7th grade, started training with Jared as well. Kind of the same story. Did some stuff at 24-hour. Jared kind of branched off, started doing his own thing. Kind of went over with him a little bit after Luke, something like that was the timeline. But I mean, that's kind of just where it started and haven't stopped from there. I've been with Jared since middle school. Grew up with Luke, middle school. Went to high school together. Vista Del Lago. Met Tommy. Same timeline. A couple years later, just through Jared. But yeah, a little bit of my story, kind of through high school. Had a great time at Vista. I mean, that's the time of my life playing with these guys. I mean, it's my best friends. I miss it all the time. Like, that was just fun playing basketball. Luke kind of talked about our AU times in high school. I just remember AU, just the times off the court. Like, I don't know, like playing AU, I guess whatever, going to play in the tournaments. Like, we've had conversations about that. I think all four of us kind of know. But I mean, off the court, just being in the hotel room, to travel, going to eat, just being kids, like, it was awesome. So
nothing like it.
That's my takeaway from AAU. Like, basketball stuff, that was whatever. It's AAU basketball. I don't know how high your expectations are, but off the court stuff was great. Playing at Vista was awesome, especially our final 2 years. I think we really shocked some people. That was the biggest thing. Like, they're like, oh, what, group of white guys from Vista? But I think we shook things up a bit. Had a lot of fun playing there. That's when we really got close. I think we all kind of will remember those times for the rest of our lives. Let's see. After Vista, recruiting process in high school, that was really kind of non-existent for me. I think, talked to some small schools here and there. Same thing. Jared helped out a lot. Did a couple unofficial, the D2s, workouts. It was whatever. I think I was in kind of the same boat as Luke. Like, I did well in school. I think, I definitely had the conversations with my family, like, hey, this may be it for basketball. And if so, like, got a lot out of it. Applied to some, just schools, just for school, in case having those as options and everything. But then, I don't know, one day it just clicked for me. It was like, damn, I do kind of want to play. Like, I want to play as long as I can. I get to play in college. So played those options out as best I could. Ended up going to a D3 school out in Cleveland, Ohio, Case Western. Made it out there. Cleveland was just different for me. Like, grew up out here in California, West Coast kid, going to the Mideast, Cleveland, had a lot to learn. Definitely caught me by surprise. Only did a year out there in Cleveland. While I did only stayed a year, I mean, I wouldn't go back and change it. I think I learned a lot. That was the start of a big learning process for me, being out there on my own, both just about life stuff and basketball stuff. All in all, it wasn't the right fit for me. Came back home to Folsom, California, did a year at Folsom Lake College. That was fun. I got to play with, I mean, you talked about Grant, Chris, got to play with them again following, our time at Vista. So that was kind of sweet. Got to play another year with them. Again, like, wasn't heavily recruited at Folsom Lake. I think I had a solid year. played well, put up good numbers, continued to get better. Wasn't heavily recruited. But long story short, I found my way to Sac State. My guy, Coach Laird, saw me play one game. Played well, got a win on the road. That kind of started the recruiting process at Sac State. And, I got a really similar story to Luke. So that recruiting process kind of started, and the conversation was very blunt, very simple. I went for a workout there one day, went up to Coach Cass's office after. They're like, hey, like, there's a walk-on spot for you, but, like, that's really all you're getting. Like, we're not promising anything. Like, and me, I was like, shoot, you don't got to tell me anything else. Like, I'll be at a Sac State, like, D1 program, dude. I was at D3 school 2 years ago. Like, all this stuff. I was like, dude, that's no problem. Like, I'll work for it. Like, if you're telling me I can come play here, like, be on the team, like not gonna try out or anything. Like, I'm on the team. Like, yeah, I'm all for it. So I found my way to Sac State for my junior year of college. Junior year, I didn't play. Like, I had so much to learn. I think, all of us know the game of basketball, know the D1 level, and me, like, I can say honestly, when I went into it, like, I was not prepared to play D1 basketball that first year. I think I had some attributes that could develop, but at that time I wasn't ready. But that team was awesome my first year. We had a really solid team, great group of guys that was just awesome being around. Had a pretty solid season, and then I think after the year COVID hit, so kind of in the middle of a conference tournament, the big unknown happens on the way to the game. Season gets canceled, whatever. Come back for my original senior year. That off season before, I guess COVID, I really took a big jump. Really kind of worked on myself, worked on my body, worked on my game, just worked on everything, and want to give it all my senior year, and actually ended up earning a starting spot throughout the year. Had a bunch of cool stats that year. I think I turned the ball over like 5 times the whole year. Like
600 and something minutes.
Dude, like, it's some crazy stuff. Like, played all 50 minutes in a double overtime game, like, against Montana.
It's
like,
nuts. That is nuts.
Dude, it was crazy. Like,
I remember like the 75% way through the year, where they were posting the stat. Will Fitzpatrick has 1 turnover in 400 minutes played.
It was just nuts. Like, and like, it's funny because I joke about it. They're like, I mean, some people ask like, how do you not turn the ball over? I'm like, honestly, like, I don't dribble much, and like,
just pass it to the rim.
if I'm passing the ball, it's either the dude's wide open or like I'm just gonna chuck one from deep. Like, that's pretty much how it happened. But I mean, it looked cool on paper and everything. But really had a fun. I call my first senior year. We don't know what COVID gives you an extra year and everything, but really had a fun year. Just like, dude, I was playing high level basketball, playing a lot of minutes. Like, I had a big role on the team. Had a good season. Shot the ball well. Another great group. Yeah, great group of guys on the team. Really love my coaching staff that I had at Sac State. Just, it's a great experience for me. Good home, and then ended up taking COVID year, came back, and then kind of another similar thing. Just had a solid year, played a good amount, started, got to be a captain of a team, a great group of guys who really coached the staff.
Earned a scholarship.
That's another thing, like, earn a scholarship. That reminds me, Jay, like,
yeah, come on.
Well, yeah, I actually want to talk about that because it's cool how because Luke, in the first episode, you guys talked about Luke, that kind of surprise scholarship thing. I love seeing that one. I had so juiced for Luke when I saw that. And then it's funny, mine is Sac State. This is a perfect Coach Cass story. I hope he somehow watches this. We're like, so first of all, I mean, he kind of told me before, like, this is the season before, like, I was a walk-on, like, playing all these minutes or whatever, still my first senior year or whatever. And then it's like right after the rule came out to where, like, you get the extra year. And then, so, like, he came up to me, we're in the airport one day, he's like, you're coming back next year, right? I was like, whoa, coach, like, at this point, I haven't thought about it. Like, the rule just came out. It's like, all right, well, if you're coming back, you're on scholarship next year. Like, he just told me randomly in an airport somewhere, like, big sky travel, we're in, like, Missoula somewhere. I was like, oh, sweet, all right, cool. So whatever, that happened. But then we're in practice one day. This is the kind of story how it gets broken to the team. We're in practice one day, like, middle of the season, and we all know these practices. Like, we just didn't want to be there, like, early in the morning, whatever. We're having a bad practice. Coach Gaskis is all lined up on the baseline and starts talking about, like, getting stuff you earned or whatever. I don't know, he's going on some rant. He's like, but you guys, you can't expect to be given something, like, you got to earn it. And like, he points at me, he's like, Will, like, he earned me giving him a scholarship next year. Like, that's kind of his, like, telling the team and everything. But it's like, while we're getting yelled at, and I'll never forget my guy Zach Chappelle. Zach Chappelle just starts, like, clapping on the baseline as we're just getting yelled at. I'm like, that's just kind of the story. That's just Styles Coach Cass for me. I love him. Like, I wouldn't be where I am without him, you know, him accepting me at Sac State. But, like, that story is hilarious to me. Like, we're getting yelled at. He's, like, telling the team that way. Zach just starts clapping, like, completely wrong time to clap. But, like, Zach's just a guy like that. But, yeah, earned a scholarship for that for my final year at Sac State. That was a big kind of personal achievement for me, looking back on where I was in high school and not heavy recruited at all. A couple D3 schools, ended up going D3, then JUCO, then walk on, not playing to earn a starting spot and everything. So that's kind of my hoop story. That's awesome. I could talk about it all the time.
Yeah. No, and it's a great one. I think that's what you said. We could all agree. But I also want to say Will's being real humble. Now, Will said he played all these minutes. I'm pretty sure Will led the team in minutes when he was a walk-on. Am I wrong?
And 3-point percentage.
And three, exactly. So, like,
and threes made.
Yeah, so we can let him be humble and all that. We're gonna call it out. But yeah, no. I remember about midway through that season, me and Will were talking, and he was leading the team in minutes, all of this, and, like, shooting the ball really well at this point. And I was like, bro, like, you have so much leverage right now. Like, and we knew this is, like, what Will was saying about the time that the rule was coming out. And I was like, if they are not going to give you a scholarship, like, sit in that meeting and tell them, like, I'm going to get paid somewhere else. So, like, come on. And so, like, and I think we both knew Will wanted to be at Sac State. So it was like, there was so much leverage for him at that point, and it was going to be dumb if they didn't give him a scholarship. And, like,
bro, I remember what I told him on the phone before he went to his meeting. I literally told him that. I told him, I was like, you walk into this meeting, and the first thing you say is, like, if I'm not on scholarship, we have nothing left to talk about, and I'm walking out.
100%.
I think this is like the postseason, like, you know,
the
like,
exit meeting,
eval, like, how the season went, what you need to work on, whatever. And, like, we all kind of knew at that point, like, I don't know, dude, there's just no way, like, and like, you said, like, if I was gonna play an extra year, like, I just couldn't pay my way again. But no, it all worked out because, like,
they stayed true to their word. Shout out Laird Cats.
Oh yeah,
paid off for them.
That coaching staff, I mean, I love those guys. Coach Laird, Coach Katz, Coach Smith, Coach Ryden, Coach Kirby, all of them. It's a great group of guys there. That's my family, and, you know, that's the biggest thing. Like, I was proud of, like, what I built at Sac State. So obviously I wanted it to work out to where I could play my whole career there. Finish out my career. But I'm really proud of how it all worked out. And, you know, crazy story, but I wouldn't change a second of it. I think it's all important for who I am today. I've learned so much along the way, and I'm proud of that for sure.
100%.
And I mean, you didn't mention this as well. I think I might be wrong, but I'd assume part of the reason why finishing at Sac State and building your own story was because of your dad as well. Shout out to Big Will. But I know he played baseball there. So, like, how cool was that, you know, going through finishing your career there, knowing that he also built a career there when it was his time?
Oh, yeah, that's another huge part of it. Like, Sac State, it's our family school. Both dad and mom got degrees from there. Like you mentioned, dad played baseball there, had a great career, Hall of Famer for Sac State baseball and everything. So for me, just to kind of leave my own little mark at Sac State, like, just really proud. Like, that's a great school. It's home. It's close to here. Just a good feeling that I got to achieve something that I'll be proud of for the rest of my life there.
How cool was it the first year when you and Luke got to go against each other? I mean, was that the first time ever? I don't know. I mean, I just remember hearing about it and how cool it was.
Probably since like 6th or 7th grade.
FIBA Talons days.
So we'll count it because, like, dude, in middle school, like, I think for the first time we got to play together in middle school was sick. I think it was like 7th grade. We're like, finally got to play on the same team. We're like, oh, this is sick. And then I obviously carried through high school. I mean, best time playing against Luke, Chris, or playing with Luke, Chris, Grant, all these guys. But Yeah, so let's see. My junior year, I think it was Luke's technically sophomore year, right?
Yeah, who knows at this point? But yeah,
something like
Real
that.
veteran.
Yeah, we were. I think the first time Sac State played NAU, I think we played at Sac State, and I think we won that.
Yeah,
I didn't get in that game.
Yeah, we were down 20 in the first half, and then we came back. It was bad.
That's right.
I have the pick still. I still have the picture on my phone.
Yeah, like that was a tough game. Like, I mean, for me, like personally, like this junior year of mine, like I told you guys I wasn't playing much, and rightfully so, I wasn't ready. But like this was the one game where I was like, I hope I just get in for a little bit, because like we got a bunch of people from Folsom, like
all the Talons teams were there.
Yeah, dude,
all
like
the Vista kids were
just
there.
a bunch of support. So I'm like, it'd be sick to get in. It's not like whatever.
Coach Weir in the building.
Yeah, dude. Like we got Vista, we got family, we got young Towns kids all there. So it was still a cool environment. I mean, all in all, still got to be on the opposing team. And then I think the first time we actually played, it was later that year. We played at NAU, and dude, we just came out super flat. Like we didn't play well. I don't know. You guys went up probably like 20 that game.
Yeah.
And then I kind of. Yeah, you guys went up. You guys kind of had that one locked away. So I think.
Yeah, you guys were like guarding each other. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
it was so funny. It was so funny.
Late second half, I think I get to come in at like 9 minutes left. Luke's still in. So I'm like, dude, this is sick. Like playing against each other in D1 game. Like I don't really care what the score is. Like we get to play and guarding each other. And I mean, at the time we ran floppy, so we don't know how floppy went. But
chasing Will around screens.
Chasing. But dude, that was fun. Like
no, I remember my coaches were like, he's a shooter. I'm like, bro, I grew up with the kid. I know like all of this. And then
dude, I was like, bro, you guys.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen more of this game than you guys will ever. And then dudes on my bench, like they obviously knew Will's one of my best friends, and they were giving it to Will, and he was just sitting there laughing, and we were both like could not keep a straight face the whole time. It was so funny.
Yeah, dude, like I don't know. I was having a good time. Like you could say whatever.
You can't replace that. That's like that feeling and that opportunity. Such a small window.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think like we were on defense in front of their bench. Luke's in the corner. Their bench right behind them. I'm guarding them. They're chatting. I think I might have been saying something back, joking around, but it was just awesome, dude. It was like, dang, we get to go from playing together at Folsom Middle School to playing against each other at NAU, and then
I mean, the Folsom Middle gym might be bigger than Sac State's gym, to be honest.
It is, I think.
It for sure is. Like it's not even close. It's not even close to size, but. Yeah,
so you guys were prepped for the stage.
Oh, exactly.
I never got to guard either of these guys in the Big Sky, but I can damn sure guarantee that nobody gave a better scout replicating these two guys than I did.
Well, you didn't even get to play me, so like
Luke did get injured 2 minutes into the games, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then me and Will didn't get to play each other the second time because I caught COVID during that year, so we didn't even meet each other our senior year.
That's right. That's what happened.
No, but nothing was as funny as Will running down the right wing into the right corner at Reed Gym and just letting me hear it after he hit a three every single time.
Oh my god!
Sitting on the bench.
Dude, so that's funny because like we had like Big Sky conversations, like gyms that we didn't like playing in, and like everyone on my team was like, dude, I don't like playing at Idaho State. I'm like, dude, I love playing at Idaho State. I don't know what you're talking about, but that rim looks like 5 feet wide to me, like the bricks behind or whatever.
Bro, you had like 25 back-to-back games.
I, for whatever reason, love playing at Idaho State. So I mean, that's funny. I got similar stories with Tommy. It's cool getting to play against Tommy, seeing him up there, see how hard he's worked. I mean, he's following in Luke and mine's footsteps pretty much, dude. Like
right on the path.
Right on the path, dude. Just working hard, found his way to a solid program with a solid coaching staff.
Yeah, that's like the dopest part. I think that's the dopest part about this is like seeing Luke go through it, seeing Will go through it, and then now seeing Tommy's like second generation going through it. Because I remember when
2 years delayed, but we're here.
Yeah, but I remember when like we were trying to do not to like veer off, but we were doing like figuring out Tommy's recruiting, and like Idaho State was like an option, and like it was going to be kind of a similar situation, which I'd already experienced with Will and Luke. And I was like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Like they did it, you'll do it. It's like you're already prepared for it because of like what Will and Luke did.
It's on the blueprint, man.
Proud father moment for Jared.
Yep.
For real.
No, that's because that leads me to what I wanted to ask you, Will. I asked Keith the same thing, and I think anyone we have on here that's a KI fan, what is your favorite Jared moment? And I know there's a plenty to pick from, but I want to know one that sticks out. And I have one that I think you might bring up, but
yeah, I know which one he's gonna bring up. There's only one of two that he's gonna bring up.
Well, I have two. So one basketball related.
Hit both.
Actually, no, I have three. I think.
All right, let's hear them.
I'll go two basketball, and then the other one will be basketball. First one, we were at training group one Sunday or something like this, and so I don't know. It's one of your bigger groups, Jared. So like, it wasn't just us older guys. We had to be like early in college or maybe late in high school, whatever. We got some younger guys with us, and like, dude, I don't remember who it was, but one of the younger kids training with us, like, I don't know, Jared, you didn't sleep the night before or what, but this kid like half speed or like dribbled off a cone or something, and then Jared just loses it. Oh my gosh.
Was this dead period training?
It must have been like dead period. That's
I know you're talking about. Yeah, it was at Sutter
Academy days.
At Sutter Middle School.
Yeah, it was dead period training.
Oh my gosh. And Jared just like
Luke knows you know who it is.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Okay.
I don't think I was there, and I know who it was.
We're just not naming names or whatever. But
yeah, we're not. Yeah, we
know who it was. So like, dude, I don't know, because like I'm always like, we always kept it light with like, you know, our group with Jared. Like I was able to joke and like still work hard or whatever. But then like, dude, all of a sudden Jared just going off, like all the balls stopped bouncing, like the small gym. Jared's voice echoing everywhere. just raging. And I was like, oh my gosh, all right, never piss this dude off. Like, like just always work hard. Like I can joke with him, but like do not piss him off in a workout. Pretty much it. What I learned from there. All right, second one. We are playing.
I have to say something though. If I not remember, I was like raging, and I looked over, and I think it was you and Chris were hiding your face with a ball because you guys were trying not to laugh.
Dude, that's probably exactly what happened. Because like if it was like any four of us were next to each other, like me, Luke, Chris, or Grant, like I don't know, someone was saying a comment, and we were just going to start.
Grant was definitely making a comment.
Right, like someone was for sure saying something, and we were for sure gonna start laughing. So like that's why we like just added fuel to the fire. Like,
GB provides the best side comments about Jared when he's mad, and they're just unmatched.
Dude, it's hilarious. So that's one story for Jared. Another one, we're playing in high school. I think we talked about this for the first episode too. So I won't be too long. We're playing Rio on senior night.
No, this was Campo, wasn't it?
Or
this was in the playoffs, right? Yeah, Unless I'm thinking of a different story.
There's two stories. I thought you were gonna bring those two stories up. There's two separate stories. There's the Rio senior night. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Rio senior night, real quick. Like I think we already had like at least a share of the league championship. Like we thought we were gonna go out and just roll over Rio, win it at home, go into playoffs or whatever. Came out flat, whatever. Played bad. Jared pissed at us in the stands. But then it was right, Campo Lindo in the playoffs. Dude, we're like same sort of thing. First half. This is like what, first round of state playoffs?
It was second round because we just beat Saratoga.
Saratoga, that's right. All right, so we're playing Campo. This team, like, I think they got some younger guys on their team that were pretty solid, but like that's right, like Mahaney and like
Jonathan Carter.
And they had the ginger kid that was nice. That was frying y'all.
The taller one, right?
Yeah, he was frying you guys.
He fried us in the playoffs 2 years later.
Yeah, it is. So, like they got these younger kids that were solid, but like no man, like dude, like we had like us four, like we had a solid team overall. Like had a really good year. It should not have been close. Like we're this first half, we're just not playing well, and like all of a sudden, like we just hear Jared just up in the stand, just like lighting us up.
Dude, you're not even. The worst part was I walked down
from the stands, like right
from the stands, right behind the bench during a timeout.
Because you always like to be like incognito. You just like sit in the back, like you have your homie here, bro. And it was because our gym would get rocking when it was, especially that last year we were winning. Like our student section would be live. It got dead quiet going into the fourth. We're down like 15.
And Weir's your head coach is quiet. Like your head coach is not like Weir was not a talker. or yellow.
Oh my God.
This is a culture shock. This is
Bro.
a culture shock to me because Jared would only pull up to my games in a hoodie on, top of the bleachers, wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't even know he was there half the time.
No, this was Jared with the Yeezy tee on, walking down the bleachers right in front of us. Oh my God, lights us up, rips us a new one.
Yeah, right from behind the bench. Like, you guys couldn't see me, but I could see the hair on your neck standing up.
Oh my God,
so funny.
And all the parents, like, I remember what the parents said to me afterwards. It was so funny.
I think Will pulled down like 10 boards in the fourth quarter too. Like, bro was boarded.
Yeah, Terry was out there hooping,
playing soft, like just lighting us out. I think all our faces just go like pale white. We're just kind of frozen there during the whole timeout, and then like, long story short, I guess that's what we needed. Went out there, took care of business, but
won the game.
That's my second Jared story. Third Jared story off the basketball court is golfing. Oh my God.
Here we go, angry Jared.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like, I think we joked about it one time. Like, me and Luke were like, "Hey, who's riding with Jared in the car?"
You have to. And Will does a better job than I do because I'll make more jokes, and Will tries. Hey, Jared, shallow it a little bit, but I'm like, right, Jared, that was awful.
Like I want Jared to enjoy his round, but I also want to enjoy my round and not just be like
just picking up the pieces all the time.
Oh my gosh! But dude, it's awesome. That's what makes it fun. But man, I mean,
hey, Luke can vouch. Please vouch, Luke, that my demeanor is much different.
Much better. And I think we're seeing an elevated play of golf in result. I don't want to say they're correlated, but I don't believe in too many coincidences. So I don't know.
The facts speak.
His demeanor's better until he sees me and Luke in the 2v2.
Oh yeah, Will, what's your take on that, by the way? Since we have you here.
We're not talking about this.
2v2 scramble.
Keys and Jared scramble.
He's played with, and you've played with Keys.
Ooh,
he's played with Tommy too.
Yeah.
Poor guy. I feel bad for him.
Mind you, it's a scramble. So I don't have to be playing my best golf.
Tommy thinks because he's good at putt golf, he's going to sink putts for Luke. And I'm trying to explain to them that that's not what's going to happen.
That's not
what's going to happen. But like, what's scary is like Luke off the tee. I think you guys got some catching up to do, Jay.
But Keys is solid. Like, if Keys is dialed, that the distance is not much different.
If Keys is dialed, like I'm trying to play it out. Like if Keys is finding the fairway, and then Jared's hitting his hybrid well, and
I don't know, man. He's trying to be unbiased right here.
I'm trying to be unbiased.
This is what I said, and we talked about it. Is that it's just going to be dependent on Luke. If Luke plays the game, then
most definitely.
But like me and Keys are way too solid. Way too solid. There's too much consistency.
All I know is I'm going to hit a big shot that I have no business making, and Jared's going to lose his mind.
Yeah.
No, but we all know that Tommy is easy to rattle, so that won't happen.
That's just not true.
You haven't seen him in this arena, though.
You haven't seen me on the golf course. I can't get rattled on the golf course when I know I'm bad.
Okay, Tommy. And then we're going to put the little pressure on. We're going to make little facial expressions that Luke starts making when he's down 2 strokes. With 2 to go.
And that's okay. When I chip one off the green that shouldn't go in, and Jared just throws his hybrid.
See, you hear what he just said? He said chip one off the green. See?
We know what I meant. Right. We don't have to.
All right. Well, this is the picture I was going to paint real quick. All right. So Jared, say you guys are like hole 11 or whatever. Like you guys are down a hole or two, like not really bad or whatever. But then like playing a solid hole, like Keith finds a fairway. Say like, you hit one on the green, you guys are putting for birdie, like you got like a 20-footer. And then Luke and Tommy are up there somewhere, like chipping, and like Tommy somehow chips in for birdie. And like you guys go down 3. I don't think you guys are coming back from that. I just think
nail in the coffin.
Like that's just like if that happens, that's just
okay. So true.
But again, you've played enough golf, Will. Luke, you've played enough golf. I've played not as much as you guys, but enough to know that is not going to happen.
It's
okay.
Tommy, if we've learned anything from, not only our stories, but this podcast and this conversation is we're going to prove people wrong. All right.
Golf is
just
a different
another opportunity.
Golf is a different answer. And you know that. At the end of the day, we know what's going to happen. And that's just the
I'm
fact
gonna
that
hit a big shot, and you're gonna get really mad.
Tommy's not gonna keep up. Like the pressure's gonna be too big. And then again, Luke
pressure isn't big for me though.
But Luke's pressure, the competitiveness in Luke's body is gonna start to build because he's built this up into such a thing.
You've seen me perform under pressure time and time again. So I don't know why you're doubting me.
Yeah, but you're not saying you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're gonna be adding pressure to Tommy.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I'm not worried about Tommy. Tommy and I we're on the same page. So like this dynamic you're trying to create between us two, it's not gonna work.
See, but Tommy, that's the thing, Tommy, is that the text message he's sending you aren't the same as the text message he's sending me.
Outside You're trying to create a divide. You're trying to create a divide, and I'm not going to accept it.
Jared, I will screenshot him to you, Tommy.
I told Tommy to his face that he sucks. Yeah. He knows that.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in you as much as he's leaning on Tommy. That's all I'm saying.
He doesn't have to believe in me. It's like I said in the clip, Jared. You're going to carry us for the majority of the game. I'm going to be there from time to time, and you're going to take us home.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
This is a 2v2 I'd like to see. I think it'd be a good match. I think big thing is what course you play.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's got to be a course that none of us have played. I like
that a lot.
Easy check the box for me, or box to check for me.
Yeah, I think we found a course that none of us have played.
That's a great idea. No cheats, no shortcuts, and then I'm just gonna see how the swings are feeling on the range right before the round. That's a big thing, I think.
Oh, I go straight to putting. I don't even take practice swings.
Even better.
Knows it's bad.
All right, man. Let's move on,
man. Hey, so real quick, Will, while we have you, I have a couple other questions for you that I figured that kind of like what we talked about before is between you and Tommy and Luke, and I'm sure there's thousands and thousands of other players out there in every sport, not just basketball, that like they have the same aspirations you have and have the same goals you have that like, you know, I kind of want to just get some feelings and some vibes of like where your head is at on some of these, like making that jump and things. So like the first thing I want to ask you was what was the toughest transition from like the D3 to D1 for you personally, not just like level or anything like that? What was the toughest transition?
Toughest transition for sure was the speed of the game. Like, I mean that kind of means a couple things. I guess like the speed of the game, physicality of the game, but biggest thing, like especially for me personally, is like just playing against the athletes that you play against. Like, I mean, for me, like I'll be the first one to tell you, dude. Like I'm no athlete off the charts. Like I'm not super tall. I'm not super quick. I'm not super bouncy. Like that's just not what I'm known for. But like the downside of that is I got to find a way around it in order to compete at this high level where you're playing against a bunch of crazy athletes, like insane athletes, like jump super quick and are really good at using the athleticism too. I think that's the biggest thing. Like not only are these guys like crazy athletes, it's like they use it really, really well. And like that's what makes them such good basketball players. I think, you know, you look at the best players in the world, like they use the athleticism really, really well. And like for me, it's finding my little niche as far as, okay, how do I work around that? Like, and like the biggest thing is like learning like the game of basketball. I think I've always loved basketball, but I never took it as seriously as I did when I was making that jump from, you know, out of high school to D3 to JUCO, and then really JUCO to playing D1. Like really studying the game. Like for me, it's like first step on defense, like being able to defend that way. Just like bunch of scouting report, like watching a bunch of film, watching guys you're playing, things like that, watching your own film too in practice, just seeing what's working, what's not working. I think that's kind of the biggest thing for me is like, dude, you just got to find, like, you can't be something you're not. You got to take what you are and like take what you're working with and, you know, make that work for you, make that be how you become successful.
For sure. No, I think you can look at, that's a great way to look at it. You can look at, you know, a ton of guys in the league that probably like shouldn't make the league, like that they just do that, you know, like you can go down the list of guys. But I think same thing in college. So the other thing on that same note, what do you think the biggest for you, what you saw, what was the biggest difference between D3 and D1 outside of like the physical, obviously the athleticism and that stuff? Like give us something that you didn't realize was going to be such a disparity outside of the physical part?
Yeah, I think one thing is like, what's my best way to describe it? I guess like the scheme that you play basketball at the D1 level versus at the D3 level. I think like your offensive sets, I mean basically like just all the logistic parts of the game, like how you defend, how you kind of set up your rotation. I think everything is taken that much more seriously playing at the D1 level. Like D3, like they say all the time, like you got like really skilled players at D3 and stuff. And, like it's true, you do. You got a lot of skilled guys, but like it's just not the same playing at D1 because like you're taking skill and like you're trying to maximize it versus just like playing with the skill that you have, if that makes sense. Like 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 every single team tries to take. I mean, like let's look at Luke at NAU. Like your best shooter, you're gonna run some really complicated sets in order to get your best shooter shots. Versus at like D3, it's like it's not taking it seriously like that. It's like, hey, we got a really good shooter, and like when he gets open, like we hope he makes it. So it's just kind of more simple.
Or even on the flip side, where like I know both. I don't want to cut you off, but like just to give people some understanding, like there were games where like both of you, Luke and Will, were like you guys would only shoot it 2 or 3 times a game because you literally had someone like in front of you 99% of the time, like literally no air to breathe.
Exactly. Like, and that's the biggest thing. Like, that was a huge test for me. Like, I think especially this past season for me, because like, I had a really good first senior year where I shot the ball well, and I think I caught other teams by surprise. And then going into this year, like I'm sure like Luke gets the same treatment. Tommy, you'll get it. When you start playing, it's like, dude, these dudes know you're a good shooter, and they're gonna do everything they can to not let you shoot the ball. Like it's just like what the job is. Like the job is like to not let you shoot the ball, not even catch the ball. Like so it either comes into where like you got to be comfortable taking like really tough rager shots and like
you had some rage.
Dude, like
I love it.
I remember a specific one. Will hit on the left wing on one of our guys, and he comes back to the bench and sits next to me, and he goes, like I forgot, I don't remember what he said exactly, but I'm like, he does that. Like it's gonna happen.
Dude, like it just gets to the point to where like you have to like teams are gonna guard you insane, and like on your end, like you got to be comfortable taking like bad shots. Like they're bad shots for other people, but like we work on this stuff all the time. Luke works on it. Tommy work on it with Jared. So I think like that's the biggest thing. Like that's the biggest difference is like the schematics to it is like every single fine detail like is looked at. Like
a lot of hours are put into those scouting reports.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think like you look at D1 coaching staffs everywhere. Like, dude, these guys are just hunkered down in their office if they're not in the gym at practice. Like, they're early, we're watching film all the time. Especially once you get to league play, like playing in league is so important. Like playing, like being able to play well in league and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like just one last note on it. Like that's what I was kind of looking for. Like, because like I really found that love for the game. I guess especially after high school. And like at the D3 level, like I don't know, it just wasn't all that I wanted in the game of basketball. Like I wanted it to be like addicting like that, to really look at everything, like everything matters, everything's important. And so that's kind of the biggest difference that I noticed for sure.
Yeah. And then it's all good stuff. The last thing, and you've kind of touched on it, but I guess I want you to pinpoint it for me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think was the biggest change you made to succeed? And you can take this from like high school to your final year. And I know like, what do you think was the main thing that you like really made a change on? I have my answer for you, but I want to hear your answer.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to put this is like, I took what I was like already, good at, and like I just excelled at that. Like same story as Luke. Like always just have been like a good shooter, like knock down open shots, a good in workouts in high school. I mean high school's high school, you get open shots all the time, knock down good shots. But then like I took what I was already good at, and like I just focused on that. Like I didn't try to become, I don't know, like some crazy like pick and roll ball handler or like get to the rim and like finish all the time. Like we already worked on that stuff because it's valuable. Like the things we focused on, the things I focused on were like shooting the ball, like getting the shot off quick, shooting in all types of situations with my feet, running off right to left, running left to right, whatever it may be. And like just focusing on that. Like if you find what you're good at, like you're gonna find a way to play, especially something like being able to shoot the basketball and everything that means. You can go on and on, spacing the floor, how teams defend you, opening other guys up on your team, things like that. So that's what I mean. That's the biggest thing I focus on, just being good at what I'm good at, not trying to be something I'm not.
For sure. Yeah, and I think you're again, as Luke said, being modest as usual.
Seriously.
I think the biggest thing I saw you change, even from being at Case to go into Folsom, because I remember the conversation that we had when you decided to make that switch.
Mhm.
Like you completely changed your body as far as like how you felt, how you conditioned, how you ate, how you even hydrated, all that stuff changed. And like you completely changed your body. You went from like kind of like stocky guard to like super chopped, like cut up, like very like best shape, like run for days. Like, and I think that was like another big thing that both of you and especially you, Will, in the offense that you guys ran, like you literally just run in circles. So it's like to run in circles for 20 seconds and then being able to like make shots contested. It's like your body had to be different.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Jay. Like my freshman year, like I was the first one. Like, dude, I was away from home. I mean, went through like these down stages. Like, just didn't take care of myself. First time in college, dorm food, whatever, cafeteria. Like, didn't eat well, didn't take it seriously, put on weight or whatever. And I really did. Like, I can't play this way. And like you said, I took it serious. I took my nutrition seriously, hydration, and like worked on my body because like another thing, like if I'm not the quickest guy, like I got to be the best in shape. So like when these quick guys get tired, like I'm still on full go. And that's honestly like how I was able to play the amount of minutes I did these final 2 years, is because like, dude, I was just in the best shape of my life. Like,
100%.
And like I know, like, dude, like we're gonna get like I'm gonna be like 38 minutes into a game, playing all 38 minutes. Like we're down 2, and like I finally pop open for a shot, I gotta be able to knock it down. Like that's what I'm here to do. So like once again, just like taking what I have and like maximizing it. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Yeah, 100%.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Will only works out in cutoffs now.
Let him rock,
That's
man.
True. That's
because
true.
he wasn't doing that when I first met him.
No, this is the baggy t-shirts to start.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys want to just go right into it, and
I mean, we kind of got to preface it a little bit. So our starting 5 for this week in Walk On Picks is clutch players. Now, Will has hit one of the greatest clutch shots that I've ever seen, and for anyone that knows of it, is probably one of the best clutch shots, like really of in my lifetime. Like you just can't put a price on it.
High school basketball in Sacramento, like definitely like
huge.
Yeah,
especially for what we were that year too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to take your thunder, Will. So you can go ahead and take the stage here. But yeah, from my perspective, that's the way I feel about it.
All right. So what I'm going to do with this story is take it back to the game before, because I think that's like something to do before. And this wasn't talked about in first episode. So the game before, we're playing Sierra High School of Manteca in playoffs. This is the second round of section playoffs or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're playing at home. This is our junior year, so like young team, didn't know what to expect. Had a pretty good year. I think we won league that year. Had a pretty good seeding in playoffs. So whatever. Had a good year. Playing Sierra, good game. We've never played against these kids before. They're from Antigua, but they were solid. I know they had a big that was good. Whatever. All in all, good game. Get down to the final, to the end, and what are we down? Down 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, down 2. Our ball. Run a great play. Get Luke open, top of the key. Just bangs a 3, game winner. Just awesome. Like, dude, like our junior year, like we didn't know what to expect. Luke
the fan section just rushed the court.
Oh yeah, dude,
engulfed you guys.
We had a great student section in high school. That's what made it so fun. Like cool student body. So like Luke bangs his game winner. Like at this point, dude, like we're just like, dude, this is the best night ever. Like we just won our second playoff game. Like huge game, playing the number 1 seed next game, or whatever it is. Like no one expected us to get this far. Huge game for Luke. I think Luke played really well the whole game and then hit this game winner. Just sick. Anyways, a couple nights later had it been right. I think it was the same week.
Literally like 2 nights later, I think.
Like 2 nights later. I think that's how playoffs were set up. Like like one day to practice and you go play. So anyway, we're playing down at Capitol, and I think we even had the thoughts going in the game, like, dude, all right, we had a great year. Like, this is like this is the end of the road.
Yeah.
Like
they were
the favorites. They were the favorites to win the section. Like,
like that team was loaded. And like at this point, like I think the way the playoffs were set up, like this was the game you had to win to get into state playoffs, like guaranteed, right? Something like that. So like we're like, all right, dude, like we had a good year. Like not to say like we didn't think we could win, but like dude, this Capital team was great. Like Zach, I played with Zach at Sac State, and like love Zach now. My brother did. Like he was on this Capital team. Just their whole team. They were just like
they had Austin Alexander. I think Kendall was on that team.
Super athletes. Yeah.
Dude, this is when
Connor Jeffrey, shout out.
Connor was on that team.
Connor,
Money C.
I think Tegan was
Tegan Jones.
Was a senior.
No, Zay was a junior.
No, I'm pretty sure.
No, we were juniors. So I think Tegan was a senior.
Oh, you're right. You're right. No, Tegan's 2014.
No way. One of them.
Loaded team, nonetheless.
Anyway, playing Capital. I'm pretty sure Tegan's on the team because like it would be in the story or here in a second. But anyways, playing a Capital, like didn't know what to expect. We thought we may get rolled, whatever.
It was definitely Zay. But keep going.
All right. We'll talk about this off the pod. Anyways, playing this game, I think first quarter, like, dude, did not go bad at all. Like we came out, hit some shots, playing pretty well. Gym's packed, like just full. Like Capital's got a bunch of people there. We had a bunch of students there right behind the bench. Sick atmosphere, whatever. Really like close game all throughout. Like really good. Like I think just high school playoff game. Like we weren't playing bad. I think we were all playing pretty decently. I think Luke got hot. I think I had a couple shots. Chris Grant, all playing pretty well. So still our junior year, so like we're pretty young. Get to the end of the game. I think we're down. Let's see, we had to be down.
We were down one.
We were down one. I think Austin Alexander gets fouled or whatever. He's at the free throw line, double bonus. Had to be like 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
Gets up there, knocks the first one down. Then like goes up, shoots the second one. I remember Thomas gets the rebound. I'm on the same side as Thomas. Like get the outlet. Like couple dribbles down. Like 2 dribbles to my right. I think I cross over one, take a dribble, get to half court, kind of see the clock, basically shoot it up from there, and
dang,
story, dude, went in.
Rest is history.
Dude, just like after that, like
the video on YouTube is epic. We have to put that. We have to post that. The video is epic.
Yeah, like dude, that's just a sick basketball moment. I think especially in high school, like we just dream of it all the time, and so we beat this number 1 seeded team. Like we had it felt like half of the student body there, like just rushed the court. Like cool video. Like you see like our team running across the court, all these students.
Yeah.
Like not only did we just beat the number 1 seed, like going to state playoffs, going to section semifinals. It was just sick, dude. And especially like in the same week, like Luke hit one the game before, like just 2 like back-to-back game winners, like just huge games for us. Like dude, I don't know. That's just like lifelong. Luke mentioned that's core memories. Like, dude, that's just like remember for a lifetime. Like, I know. Like,
what a time to be alive for the Eagles.
It was all manifested.
Yeah,
way before
like,
that.
30.
Couple things I want to say on that was the previous game, not the game that NAU watched Luke at too.
No, Luke's was the first.
That was senior year.
Different one.
Oh, I was thinking, okay, junior. The other one I was going to ask was in the future. What did Zach say about that when you got to Sac State? Because I know he had to bring that up.
Oh my gosh, he loved you all the time. Funny thing, I think. Let's see, it had to be COVID year, which that whatever the reason we couldn't practice on our gym, but we found ourselves like practicing at Capitol one day, like with our Sac State team, and then like. I was joking with these guys. So like we had Rick on the team too. Rick's another Capital guy. Wasn't at Capital when we played, but like I still give him a good time about it. Like I just walk in this gym, like say it loud, like man, dude, I love this gym. Something good happened here. And then like stuff like that, or like I think after practice, like I got the ball and like I was like standing like where it kind of happened. Like we went through it, like couple dribbles, like shot a half court, like 3, 2, 1, joking around. But yeah, it was fun joking with those guys, but yeah, man, like that's just like that's high school basketball for me. Like just with that, especially with that group, like dude, like we like somehow like won league, beating the 1 seed in playoffs. Luke hit a game winner, I hit a game winner.
Yeah.
On our way to the state playoffs.
Losing in state to the state champion though.
Yep.
Yeah, lost to Manteca.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no. I think that's a good segue into that starting five. So yeah, we got starting five and walk-on picks, clutch players.
All-time clutch NBA players.
All time. Who wants to start? I mean, actually, I'm gonna kick it off actually because these two dorks guessed my first pick. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and say my point guard since it's already out there.
If you played for the Kings, then Luke is gonna put you on a list. So for Luke's point guard of all-time clutch, Michael Bibby.
Mike Bibby at the 1. But see, I told this story in the first episode. One of my first games I went to, Mike Bibby hit a game winner, so it's nostalgia for me.
Right.
So boom, Mike Bibby at the 1.
That out in the chat. My bad.
Yeah, it's all good. At the 2, another one that's probably predictable. Ray Allen at the 2 hit one of the most biggest shots in NBA history. At the 3, Reggie Miller, winning time. Reggie Miller. So far we're stacked. At the 4, this one hurts to say, Robert Horry, Big Shot Rob. That one hurts, but I gotta give my respects. Credits due. And then at the 5, we're going Dirk. I know we're gonna be a little small, but we're going Dirk at the 5.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a good 5.
It's never mind. I won't say anything. Yeah, I'll let it ride.
I'll take over.
Okay.
At my 1, I got Mr. Big Shot, Chauncey Billups.
Wow.
At the 2, I got the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Had to, no doubt. At the 3,
Here goes Tommy again.
At the 3, here goes Tommy with my better list. At the 3, I debated on this one, but I ended up going with Larry Bird. I feel like you guys will like that one. At the 4, Luke.
That's a racist comment.
That's just not at all what it was. At the 4, Luke took. That was a great one. I wanted to talk about Luke's pain by bringing up Robert Horry, but he beat me to it.
It's all good.
And then at the 5, I put Tim Duncan.
That is a great pick, Tommy. The fact that Luke has a list of all-time clutch players without Michael Jordan on it is kind of insane.
That's on brand for me.
And he's bringing up here goes Tommy when I list Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan's not the most clutch player ever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say he isn't, but that's on brand for what I do. You know what I mean?
But Tommy, I thought you could save it, but you didn't. And so now my list has to win because both your guys' lists are bad.
I mean, I was gonna put Kobe at the 3 if that's what you're
how do you bro? What? Okay, I'm just gonna run it. Okay, I got Magic at the 1. Mag Johnson at the 1. 5 titles.
Thanks for telling us who Magic is. Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Anyways, a little better than Mike Bibby, but okay.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan at the 2. Kobe at the 3. Dirk at the 4. And I got Bill Russell at the 5.
Yeah.
Before Will goes,
I did not put Kobe because I knew at least 3 of us were going to put Kobe if I put Kobe.
But
I didn't want to have the same list as everybody.
I just wanted to be different. Nothing wrong with that.
Will, go ahead.
All right. I had a tough one with this one. Can I give like a honorable mention?
No, that would because that's different than walk on, huh?
No, I'll say him actually.
All right.
At the 1, I'm going Steph. I think I got Steph in there right now. I think
I love that pick.
I don't know, dude. Like I think he's got stuff coming too. Like he's just solid, clutch, game winners, leading teams, whatever it may be. All right, at the 2, I've got Ray Allen. I got
nice pick.
Yeah, like just clutch Ray. Love Ray Allen, especially for our shooters. At the 3, I got Kobe. Had to do Kobe. At the 4, one of those small, Reggie Miller. And at the 5, again going small, I had Dirk. That's my team right there.
I like it.
That's nice.
I like
nice.
Similar picks. I like it.
I'll go ahead and get my walk-on pick. I'll go ahead and get my walk-on pick out of the way. I had Tim Duncan at the center, who hit a miraculous shot against the Lakers, followed up with my walk-on pick, who hit an even better shot with 0.4 seconds left, Derek Fisher.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
That's a good one.
I hate
That's
you.
a good one.
That's what Jared had?
No, I would never pick Derek Fisher on the list.
Oh, my fault.
So clutch.
All right, so who'd you have, Jay?
So me, I went back and forth. I wanted to decide if I was going to go like, easy one, or if I was going to, dive into the historian bag again.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Reggie Miller as my walk-on pick because I feel like he doesn't get the love that he should get. But because of Luke's face, I will give you my other one, which was Ben Gordon.
I like that a lot better because that's a really good pick, actually. That's a fantastic pick.
Led the league in fourth quarter scoring when he played. A lot of game winners. So Ben
Gordon's a great pick.
I will go with Ben Gordon.
I
think that's better for your voting as well, because if you say that he doesn't get the love he deserves, but two of us had him in our starting fives, it's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah. Like that. So, Reggie Miller just asked for big shots. Like that's what I love. Like he just
winning time, man.
Winning time.
All right. So Luke, who you got?
All right. So I was debating here. I was gonna go super reach or something solid. So I'm gonna go with the solid one. I'm going Kawhi Leonard. His run with the Raptors, he was the best closer in the league by far, hands down. And I think, you know what I mean? We haven't seen him in that form since then, but that run itself, I don't think it gets the credit it deserves. So I'm going Kawhi Leonard.
Even finals when he beat LeBron and the Heat, same thing. He was close.
I remember watching that game 5 as a diehard Warriors fan when Kawhi just ripped off 4 straight mid-range pull-ups, back of the net.
Daggers. No, this guy was
nothing you can do about it. Thank you, Nick Nurse, for calling a timeout. Steph and Clay hit 3 straight threes to force game 6, but I literally was like, "There's nothing you can do."
Yeah. So there we go, Kawhi Leonard.
Will, what you got?
All right, mine be a little controversial. This is just personal preference, and hasn't won anything, so I'll just get that out of the way right now. I know he hasn't, but it's one of my favorite game winners of all time. I got Dame. I just just Dame time. I think that game winner against Thunder, dude, I just love his sidestep. I just
so tough.
I hope he wins something. I applaud him for sticking it out in Portland, and probably will never win there, which is just sucks for Dame. But I'll give it to him. I'll give my honorable mention.
That's a great pick.
Spot.
Great pick.
I like it.
Sidestep from 40 feet.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just how do you not like that?
Talking about Ragers, right?
Yeah. That one, and then this other one is
against Houston.
Is that the one the half court running
running towards the ball, sideline out of bounds, eliminated Houston. Yeah, that was early.
I mean, he has 2 series-ending buzzer beaters. He's got to be on the list for someone.
Yeah. I think we're a solid list all around. Solid list all around. But no.
Okay, Mike Bibby.
Anyways, very appreciative of Will coming on. I think all of us kind of, like I said, we're super close, so we know where each other's heads are and stuff. But like we said on this, Will's a very humble guy, and he doesn't like to talk about it too much. So hopefully it was a little bit of a platform to hit for him to kind of talk about his story and, everything he went through. So Will, really appreciate it. Hopefully we can get you back on. I don't think that's the craziest idea, but we'll see.
You can come be the Charles Barkley of the 2v2.
Yeah,
that would be sweet. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you 3. I mean, for first of all having me on, and then second of all just everything past that, being so supportive, and the 3 of you guys helped me out so much these last years. Jared, Luke, since middle school, Tommy, as long as I've known you. You guys have been awesome, just solid support, and I may not be still in the game of basketball. Obviously, got my big boy job now, work clothes on, but I mean, still following along with you guys always. Just really proud of all 3 of you guys, how much you guys have built, and it's an honor to kind of be by the side of all 3 of you guys still in the circle, and seeing everything you guys got coming here for you 2 this season. Jared, keep training, everything you built here, your resume, guys playing. Just thank you 3 so much.
It's love. It's always love.
Always.
You're always welcome in the gym.
Yeah, always.
Jared, what you gotta say, man?
Will already knows this, but I'm gonna remind everybody else out there: 50 chips a night gets you right.
I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
It's not gonna get you right for our 2v2, but with that being said, thank you everybody for listening. It's been your favorite walk-ons. We're walking out.